all of you probably know that relatively recently mods were added for Bedrock Minecraft. However, in this edition of the game, they're called add-ons. Some of these add-ons are paid and others are completely free. A lot of official add-ons have managed to come out for that period, which are available in Java as mods, and you can download them for free. So let's see how much they differ from each other and which of them is better. Let me start perhaps with something very simple and painfully familiar. Unfortunately, so far in Minecraft, we do not have dynamic lighting. This is when, for example, we hold a torch in the hand and it emits a glow that illuminates a small part of the area, as it happens in real life. The most popular one is, of course, Optifine, but it's not the only feature of this mod, and I'm not gonna tell much about Optifine now. The second one is Reamic Lights, which I use for version 1.21. For Bedrock edition of the game, they created Real Light Reimagined. Its price is 490 coins, which is about $3. It adds dynamic lighting to the game. All blocks that somehow emit light begin to emit it when the player holds them in his hands. But the developers went a little further and added new functionality. For example, on Bedrock, you can't place all blocks and items in the second hand, only some of them. The authors did add this functionality for items that emit light, but to do this, you must first place a torch or lantern on the workbench and pick up the item that can be taken into the second hand. Moreover, you can create a miner's head. For this, you'll need a lantern and a leather hat. Looks stylish and quite cool. It's also funny that the author even thought through the torch's behavior underwater. It will not emit light underwater, obviously. You're gonna have to take a glass block and connect it to the torch, and only after that, a torch will be able to illuminate the underwater world. The second mod I think every Minecraft player knows, Tinker's Construct. This is one of the oldest mods in Minecraft. Tinker's Construct is a mod that allows you to create tools in many different ways, and then modify them until they turn into something else. You can use a wide variety of materials to make tools. I think this mod appears in almost every mod pack. This is not a bad thing because it allows this mod to stay afloat until now. So far, the latest version on which this mod is available is 1.19.2. At the same time, it's not just being ported from version to version. Each time, they add something new, which of course cannot help but make the player happy. This mod officially appeared on Bedrock. It's not a copy of it. The guys from FTB team were engaged in the development. The price of this add-on is 990 coins, which is about $5. Yep, a little expensive considering that on Java this mod is absolutely free. Overall, they're almost identical. As soon as I created the world, I was met by a wandering tinker, from whom you can buy various resources. It's funny that if you hit his dog, it'll become aggressive, but because of the leash, it cannot chase you. As in the original, we're given a book that familiarizes us with the basic knowledge of this mod. The book is beautiful, by the way, but unfortunately there is no way to quickly go to the desired page. Then everything happens as always. You create empty templates, special stations on which you can create templates of parts or tools, and obtain resources for them. The weakest standard tools from Tinker's Construct are much better than the vanilla ones. The further you advance in your exploration, the more you can do. The mods here are identical. So tell me, who doesn't know the good old TreeCapitator? This mod and the minimap were the very first ones I played Minecraft with. What was my surprise when I realized that they were mods and not the part of Minecraft? In general, everything here is pretty clear. You have an axe that cuts down any tree. The player only needs to chop down only one bottom block, and the entire tree will break into small blocks and the foliage will simply disappear in seconds. The chopping time of the bottom block depends on the number of blocks in the tree itself. The bigger the tree, the more time it takes to chop the block. At the same time, the durability of the tool is spanned in the same way as if the player chopped each block manually. This is an extremely convenient feature. Of course, this mod was also ported for Bedrock. The price of the add-on is 310 coins. That's about $2. As always, we're greeted by a book that tells us about the mod, but it also has flexible customization. For example, we can choose when the mod should be activated, when crouching or when we're chopping a tree. We can choose the destruction of foliage, whether it falls or not, and if so, at what speed. You can even choose which type of axis will interact with a certain type of tree. Probably this kind of thing is important for someone. The last configuration available is durability, whether it's spanned for a single block of wood or for all blocks at once. The add-on is fully functional and copes with the stated functionality. The only thing that is not yet or probably will never be available is the tree chopping time. No matter how large it is, it's gonna take the same amount of time as if the player is breaking only one block of wood. WorldEdit. I can't call this mod anything but legendary. I think every builder in Minecraft used this mod. It's quite simple, but in general, because there is no graphical interface, it's not quite user-friendly. The relatively new mod Axiom has come to its rescue, in which there's already a graphical interface and almost all the functionality of WorldEdit. You can have a look at this mod directly on YouTube, there are many different guides. In general, they perform the same function, to simplify the construction process for each Minecraft player. For example, you can quickly copy and paste buildings and structures. You can somehow change their appearance, and if you screwed up somewhere, you can always write the undo command and return everything to its original place. They didn't create an official port for Bedrock, they only managed to create an analog. It's called World Builder. The price is high, 990 coins, that's $5. After installation, of course, we have a book that tells us about the tools and what they do. Long story short, all the standard WorldEdit tools are present here. By the way, I really like the seamless structure selection. You can even select the air block without any problems. Copying is a bit weird, but in general you can get used to it. If you mess up somewhere, you can cancel the action, or if you accidentally deleted something, you can return it back. There's even the possibility of terraforming. For this, you need to choose the type of brush, the necessary blocks, and then, by using it, you can draw the desired shape of the territory. If you've played any mod packs, then you're familiar with such a mod as storage drawers. This is an extremely handy mod that allows you to create drawers to store everything in Minecraft. There are different kind of drawers, like drawers in which you can store only one type of items, 2, 3, and 4 of course. It's important to note that because of the number of items that can be stored in these drawers, the number of stacks of all stored items reduces. Of course, in this mod there are different kinds of upgrades, as many as 5 upgrades to increase storage. They can be installed directly in the drawer itself. There are even keys that can be used to close the drawers so that no one can get items out of it. In general, the functionality is understandable. The mod is very simple and extremely convenient for storage, especially if you use this mod in mod packs. For Bedrock, it was officially ported by the FTB team, and the price was 490 coins, $3. I'll tell you right away that it turned out quite mediocre. First of all, there's only one type of drawers, in which you can store one item. Yeah, drawers can be created from most blocks, this is certainly a positive. There are no upgrades in the add-on, which means you can't increase the number of stored blocks in any way. You can't even get in and somehow see how many blocks are hidden in a drawer. If in the mod there was a special key, which could be enabled to display the number of items, here there are no keys at all. There's not even a key to close the drawers. This add-on disappointed me most of all. Like, if you decided to port it, then why don't you just make a full-fledged add-on that repeats all the functionality? But perhaps it will be added in the future. Perhaps one of the oldest and very familiar mod is health and damage indicators. This mod got into almost every mod pack, but if it's an RPG pack, it's an integral part of it. In many RPG games, health indicators are the foundation. You can more or less estimate how much HP the enemy has and whether you should attack him. And in general, it shows how much more you have to struggle to kill the boss. There's a similar bar in vanilla Minecraft, but only for Ender Dragon and Wither. Java mod appeared a long time ago and has a very fine configuration. We can choose different kinds of styles for the health indicator, add particles of damage to the mobs, make it so that the health bar was on every mob, not only if we point the crosshair at him, and in general you can choose the location of indicators. I don't think it's necessary to tell a lot about this mod, at least once you should have played it. Add-on for Bedrock is not its direct port, but just a new vision, which by the way costs 660 coins, which is about $4.50. The add-on of course has an extreme amount of functionality. Upon entry, the player is given a book where he can configure the add-on as he wishes. For example, we have the ability to choose the style of how the health indicators will be shown. You can make it so that it will be invisible in general, or it will only be shown when aiming or only when dealing damage. You can choose the font of the numbers that will show how much damage the player has caused. You can choose the animation of how these numbers will be shown after the damage is dealt. You can also choose the sound with which the damage will be dealt to opponents. Cool, but it's played at the same time as the normal damage sound, so it's a bit weird. The last thing you can choose is the damage animation. Overall, there's a lot of customization, and that's a plus for the add-on. There are also also combat dummies: chicken, skeleton, normal, zombie, cow, wither, and ender dragon. You can use them to configure the add-on. It's cool, but the price is too high. Let's get away from the topic of mods for a while, and I'll get into the realm of resource packs. We all know the X-Ray. We used it and will continue using it. It's a canonical event, there's no getting away from that. It's not that bad, depending on how you use it, but that's not what we're talking about right now. For Bedrock, a very strange add-on came out. It's called Ore Finder for 310 coins, $2. As soon as I launched it, I was again welcomed by a book that wouldn't open. Turns out it had to be placed on the floor, but you can't pick it up. The book told me how to create special devices that will help me find ore quickly. Iron, gold, diamonds, redstone, netherite, lapis lazuli, emeralds, copper, and quartz. It's kind of a good idea, but the implementation is just garbage. This device will make a sound if the ore you want is nearby. The problem is that nearby is a fairly broad concept. It can be close to the right side, to the left side, up, down, diagonally, and it will make the same sound at each distance. So you can't tell if you're getting closer to the ore or not. Roughly speaking, it's not that X-ray, but it will not help you in mining resources. It's not clear why this add-on was created and who's the developer. A lot of us asked the developers to add something like experience storage, sort of like we got cloud plugs. They store experience. Thanks for that. But before that, there were various mods that already had this functionality. One of them is mob grinding utils. It's designed to create farms of experience and resources on various mobs. Of course, in this mod there is a special tank in which you can store experience in liquid form. If the player has too much experience, he can stand on a block that will extract the experience and put it in the tank. Once the player needs a few levels, he can simply connect a special faucet to the tank and, roughly speaking, pour it on himself, therefore gaining experience levels. In this mod, there's still special blocks that will drive mobs, special fans, and blocks that destroy all entities. For Bedrock, the add-on XP storage was created. The price is 660 coins or $4.5. It almost repeats all the functionality of the previous mod. Instead of one experience tank, we're offered as many as 3. Gold, iron, and netherite. They differ only in how many levels of experience they can store in themselves. The experience is sucked out of the player for a very long time, and you have to wait almost endlessly. But you can take all the experience at once with the help of a special wrench, or create a faucet that will release only one level of experience. The weirdest thing in this add-on is a special spawner, which will be spawning any mobs. You just need to choose them. Then you need to place fans that will direct the mobs to a special block that will destroy them. All the experience will go into the experience tank. What can I say? I have extremely ambivalent feelings. On the one hand, when the mods have been officially ported for Bedrock and the original author will receive a percentage from the sale, it's quite appropriate. But if it's an add-on which took someone else's mod as a basis, improved it and now sells it, it's definitely not okay. And in general, I'm not used to paying for mods, so to speak, that I always download for free after watching a few seconds of advertising. In general, Mojang policy prohibits selling mods for Java, but does not prohibit asking for financial support in the form of donations. It may be worthwhile to deal with this situation and make a separate video. While you're waiting for the new video, you can watch these, they're also very interesting. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and click on the notification bell. See you in the next one!